Hi, Sid.
Hi, Adi.
How are we?
We are very good.
Okay, welcome to Best Part Is
We have a logo now
and a TV
and a TV
that puts the logo on.
that puts the logo on. That's
really-
amazing.
I know.
We are moving up in the world.
Correct. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're
The
doing.
TVs. Okay, so we're going to lead with you today.
I'm going to lead the proceedings
What
today.
is your fun fact?
So I'm going to be talking about Bhavish Aggarwal. So
Who's that?
Bhavish Aggarwal is a billionaire CEO of India. He's 39 years of age. He owns Ola, which is a Indian version of Uber. And
Okay,
they
so
have their
Ola
own-
Cabs.
Ola Cabs.
Right.
And they have segued into EV market, the electric vehicles.
Okay.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So thing is, I came across this guy on Twitter. So
Okay.
Kunal Kamra. an
On
Indian-
X.
On X, sorry.
Yeah.
Kunal Kamra, a comedian.
Right.
Made a post. He said, do Indian consumers have a voice? Do they deserve this? Two-wheelers are mainly daily wage workers' lifeline. Is this how Indians will get to work, etc., etc., etc.?
Okay, so the whole fight, the back and forth that they
Yes,
have.
so I'm going to give you a little background on this.
Right.
So over the last few months,
I'm sorry, I want to cut you off.
yes.
I just said right.
Why did you say that?
I don't know.
That's okay.
Okay, right.
That's okay.
Okay.
You're channeling your inner Australian.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
I don't know. You've never
We
been
have-
there, but
we have a lot of this code switching going on with our accents.
yeah, that happens.
That happens a lot with
We're
us.
Dubai kids.
Yes.
It happens.
Our international accenting
Yeah,
problem.
one day I'll spend time with my Indian friends and I have an Indian accent. The next day I'll spend time with our British friends and I'll have an American accent. Which
Yes.
I don't know how that
So
makes
for
sense.
everyone's information, we have no original accent.
We have no original accent.
We have a very...
No, I think my original accent is an Indian accent. I do
Mine is
think-
very international because I roll a lot of words.
I mean, you enunciate.
Work.
You pronounce
I don't say
your...
work.
Yeah.
Or, and even that was, I don't know. It's fine.
It's fine.
Anyway,
You're being very conscious about your accent today.
yes, I am.
Why?
I don't know. I
Did
thought-
someone say something?
No, I heard myself. I saw my own videos back. That's what
No,
happened.
but that happens.
Okay,
that happens
go.
sometimes. Okay, so coming back. So where was I?
You were talking about Bhavish Aggarwal
Yes,
and
so-
his fight with Kunal Kamra.
Okay, so
on
I'm gonna
X.
dial it back. I'm moving too fast at the moment, so I'm gonna first dial it back. So I googled Bhavish Aggarwal. I don't know who he is.
Okay.
So I googled him. I don't want to make much of an opinion of him without knowing anything about him. And it was said that he's a self-made, India's youngest self-made billionaire.
Oh, wow,
Which I was
fantastic.
very curious about. So I googled his dad. And I googled his net worth.
Okay.
And his dad himself is a billionaire. In fact, I read an article where his dad was not very diplomatic about releasing his actual net worth.
Okay.
So there are rumors that he could be worth 2,000 crores, which is 2 billion.
20 billion.
20 billion. And there are other rumors that he's worth 100 crores, which is like 10 billion rupees. And so there's no exact figure as to how he's, but he's a rich man. So he comes from money. And that man very openly has said, his dad has very openly said, very honestly has said that, he made a little money and he got a lot of money from his parents. That was a very nice quote. I like that quote from his dad because he's like, I made a little money and I got a lot of money from my parents.
But here's my question.
Yeah.
I thought he was a self-made
Yeah. He's a third generation
billionaire.
billionaire. And he's like...
He's a third generation billionaire.
I mean, he's a third generation rich person.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So
if
he's a
gonna-
third
his-
generation affluent person that comes from money.
Yes, and I want you
Okay.
to remember this because he says something in a video that I'm going to discuss about soon. So again, I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't know anything about this guy. I could be way off, but this is just my summary from two different things. One of them being the Twitter spat he had with a comedian.
X.
The X spat he had with a comedian. It just sounds wrong.
I know it does, but
With a comedian. And another is a statement he made in an interview.
okay, so the idea is we're going to talk about the concepts that he brings about work culture, is it?
Not just work culture, a number of things. So let's just, we'll go into it. We'll go into it.
Okay.
So first is this Kunal Kamra tweet. I don't have the whole tweet with me right now. I'm just going to read. So basically what has happened is India, unlike Dubai. So in Dubai, we have one major mode of private transportation.
Right.
That is cars.
Right.
Bikes are a novelty. So if you want to enjoy yourself, you get a bike.
Yeah, 'cause it's very
about,
hot.
Yeah, I'm not talking about delivery workers because that's not a private vehicle. That's a
Shared
business.
economy
That's
business.
a commercial vehicle.
Yeah.
So you buy a bike if you want to have fun. If you're a bike enthusiast If you just want to enjoy yourself, that's a different story. It's very hot over here. So everyone buys either a sedan or an SUV. That's not the case in India.
Okay.
In India, you have cars, you have bikes, you have scooters. Now, scooters are nobody's preferred choice. So if you give someone a choice between a scooter, a car, wait, let me finish. If you give someone a choice between a scooter, a car, and a bike, they will either pick a car or a bike.
Okay.
So they might not pick a car saying that, you know what, petrol prices are very high, it doesn't make financial sense. But if they want to go for something less and you're giving it for free, they'll go for a bike.
Okay.
People only go for a scooter out of necessity,
Right.
which means those people who have a scooter cannot survive without it.
Also, women tend to take more scooters because they have fun colors and they're lighter.
They're lighter.
So
easier
bikes
to
are
manage.
heavive,
Yeah.
they're lighter to manage.
I wouldn't generalize all women like that because there are some women who can ride a hell out
No,
of
a
a bike.
lot of them do. A lot of them
Yeah.
ride bikes, but I've noticed a
In
lot
general,
of
yes. And
college
even in my
students-
family, yes.
Yeah.
It's also because it's cheaper.
Oh, is
so
it cheaper?
there's a certain level. So my uncle said this. I won't associate this with all families, but my uncle said this when he was buying it for my cousin. He's like, it's cheaper. So if she bangs the scooter here and there, then it won't hurt me that much.
So sexism
Yeah.
is the reason. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, that's what my uncle said anyway.
It also comes in fun colors like blue, purple, pink, green, yellow.
It's not helping a sexism point.
No, but we like colors. Doesn't mean that we're bad. Listen, between the both of us, I have a better accident ratio than you do. And I just fully jinxed it right now.
Normally, I'm the one who wears black.
Yes.
And today you're wearing black. So I'm accented.
Accented.
Color. I don't know what you said.
Accident.
I don't know what you said.
Listen.
What?
ADHD friend of mine. Active listening will go
Between
a
the
long
two
way.
of us?
I have the better accident ratio.
Oh, I heard accented color.
Why?
I
Why
don't
would
know.
that be a thing?
I don't know. I just heard it. Okay.
Quickly moving forward.
So
I'm tired.
you don't have a better accident ratio. I mean, you have a different car right now.
It's true. It's for fun facts. Okay, now moving forward.
I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not gonna tell you how long it's been since I've been.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Go on.
Okay, so Ola scooters have been coming back after this massive segue. Ola scooters have been breaking down
All right.
all over India. So Ola burst into the EV scene very quickly. Okay. And they left everyone behind. They left Bajaj behind, everyone else behind. I'm saying everyone else because I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Bajaj behind and everyone else. Yamaha?
I don't know, man. So, Bajaj now has overtaken Ola
Okay.
in market share because, again, but it's Bajaj. Okay. When I think companies in India, I think Tata, I think Bajaj. These are they're pioneers, right? They've been in the industry for a long time. They know how to launch something. They took their time, they did their research and development, and now they're releasing perfect quality materials. Ola bikes, scooters, on the other hand, breaking down, catching fire.
Okay, so work with me a little bit.
Yeah.
When you say these scooters, okay, are these scooters in the market you can buy?
Yes, they are electric vehicle scooters. Like you can
You can
buy.
just purchase for
And
daily
just purchase
usage.
this for daily use, and you're driving it like any other scooter. And of course, the novelty is that it is electric vehicle. So people buy it a lot, and it was doing great. People have bought it in lakhs of numbers, like
As you do in India.
as you do in India, because it's cheap, it's economical, and it doesn't use that much petrol, or it doesn't use any petrol.
It's electronic vehicle. Why would it use
It could be hybrid. I don't know.
Or it could
So
be...
I'm saying both. Either it uses very little petrol or it uses no petrol at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know much of what I'm talking about here. So
You just saw videos.
I just saw a video and I have an opinion. So I'm very honest.
As
So-
one does with the mic in front of them. We
As
have
one
an
does with a
opinion.
mic in front of them. So now these vehicles started breaking down in India, apparently.
Okay.
And the response time of Ola was terrible. Now, this is something that I've corroborated through a lot of research. I've combed through Reddit posts. I've combed through X posts. I've combed through Facebook posts. There
And
are
general articles that you read about them and the family.
only 2 articles. I'll say article-wise, I've read only 2.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the public opinion. And in general, the public is pissed. And I'm talking about people who are generally active on social media like you and I. I'm talking about regular average Joes who have 9 to 6 jobs, who family people who don't spend that much time. Like when I go to their profiles and see, they don't have that many tweets, but they're making a point to make a tweet because they are pissed off, and they're just trying to complain about the situation, and they think that this is a way to get to him. So Kunal Kamra addressed this issue. Kunal Kamra is a Indian comedian, and he makes political comedy. He's been known to get into hot water in a lot of situations because of that. So he said, do Indian consumers have a voice? Do they deserve this? Two-wheelers are the main daily wage workers' lifeline. Nitin Gadkari, I don't know who that is. Is this how Indians will get to work? Okay. This is what he said. And then he tagged Bhavish Aggarwal, the CEO of Ola.
This is your first note of slowing down.
Okay, slowing down now. So now Bhavish Aggarwal replies, since you care so much at Kunal Kamra 88, oh, he's 88 born. Come and help us out. I'll even pay more than you earned for this paid tweet or from your failed comedy career.
Kunal Kamra doesn't have a failed comedy career.
He doesn't. I know who he is.
Yeah,
in
me
Dubai.
too. And it's so hard to find out things about like local comedians.
Like if you know a comedian from India living in Dubai, then I think he's done his job.
Yeah.
Or else sit quiet and let us focus on fixing the issues for the real customers. We are expanding service networks fast and backlogs will be cleared soon. So this was a very...
It's a very diplomatic answer covered in like hate tweet.
I mean, there's nothing diplomatic about
No,
this.
the last part.
The last part was diplomatic, yeah.
It was like a standardized, the PR relations answer that you get.
Your call is valuable to us. We'll be attending to you shortly.
We'll be attending to you shortly. Thank you for your feedback, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was offered by their lawyers or their PR committee.
Yeah,
PR
and then
team.
he's like...
But then instead of just saying that, he went in guns blazing.
It's like his lawyer stands behind him while he's tweeting and he's like, ah! And his lawyer, sir...
Please tell down.
Yeah,
please add this.
No.
Thank you.
The lawyer says you should say this. So he doesn't backspace because he doesn't have a backspace. He just adds what the lawyer said.
Right, yeah. Just quickly adds in the end.
In the end.
Right.
So apparently that fight went on for a long time. Like he said something, Kunal Kamra said something and kept going back and forth. And the guy just kept saying, Kunal Kamra, why don't you come and work for me? I will give you a job.
Okay.
And Kunal Kamra is like, I don't want to work for you. It's like, and then Kunal Kamra also got petty. So like the guy said it was a failed career. So he posted a video from some time back where, he was in a show and, the crowd went wild when he did a surprise appearance. I'm like, why?
Out of context, but okay.
Why? So
but here's my question though. In their back and forth, did Kunal Kamra ever offer that, I might come in and I can help you because maybe?
I don't know, man. He didn't do that in any point of time. But he was, I think he was pointing out the problem with the fact that, you're willing to spend money on me.
No, because they went so many times. They went back and forth. Right?
Yeah.
Did anyone come up with a resolution at the end?
No, there was no resolution. Kunal Kamra only offered the fact that, if you're willing to spend money on me and fund me working for you in your service center, why don't you use that money towards fixing people's problems?
That's it.
It's a very good point.
Very good solution.
So I found this very problematic because there are people actually suffering from this. Like I said, like scooters are not...
How much is a Ola scooter?
Let's Google it. Ola EV scooter.
Ola EV scooter is not an ad.
Price. Ola EV scooter price is 69,999 rupees.
Oh, 70,000 rupees.
Yes. Now, for context, in dirhams, it's 3,000 dirhams.
It's a scooter for 3,000 dirhams.
Scooter for 3,000 dirhams. So this is exactly going. This is a great initiative, by the way. I will give it to Bhavish Aggarwal.
Less than $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, I will give it to Bhavish Aggarwal. That is great stuff. I mean, it's amazing how many people will be able to buy this, afford this, go to work with this.
But as a person who runs a business, I can tell you to come down to that level of a price point, you're sacrificing a lot on quality.
So then in that case, let's Google Bajaj EV scooter price.
In my brain, EV scooters have to be more expensive. I don't know why.
Yeah. Bajaj Chetak in India starts at rupees 1 lakh.
See? And 100,000 rupees is how much in dirhams?
What is Bajaj Chetak? Well, let me just check if I'm checking the right thing. Yeah, it's correct. It starts at 99,000 and goes up to 1.56 lakhs.
What is 100,000 in dirhams and in dollars?
100,000 would be 8,000 dirhams. 1 second, or even less, I think. I'm feeling slightly bad. It's 4,368 dirhams. You know, in 2013, it was 8,000 dirhams. Like you had to spend 8,000 dirhams to get.
I understand that.
But yeah,
So yeah, but it's slightly more expensive, but that's a starting price.
yeah, that's a starting.
Price.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so there we have a difference.
You do have a difference. There is a sacrifice of something. We don't know whether it is.
Yeah. We don't know whether it's quality or whatever. Again, we won't make a judgment.
We don't know. We don't know
anything.
much about
We don't
EV
know anything
industries
about this,
to know this.
So, but this is a price difference, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a great initiative. I think if people are able to afford it at $1,000, that's amazing.
Yeah, because more people can use it.
So many people can use it, right? It helps, and but yeah. So now they're breaking down. They're catching fire. I saw so many videos, where the bike broke down. And it's just standing over there, and then immediately just catches fire.
Oh, so if you don't get off it, catches fire.
Then you catch fire.
You catch fire.
You catch fire.
So it's a
Hunger Games catching fire.
so.
Indian version.
Sorry, I got very excited. I got very excited.
Hunger Games
So it's
catching fire.
less-
Indian version starring Alia Bhatt.
So it's less than $1,000.
Yeah.
But then you can catch on fire.
But you can catch.
It's the
on fire.
only catch.
It's the only catch. You get it for less than $1,000, but you might risk spontaneous combustion.
That's it. That's the only
That's
risk.
the only risk. So anyway, this back and forth was going on.
But
and
it's great for the environment because it's an electronic.
great for the environment.
Great for the environment.
Just might burn the plastic
It's
materials.
economical. It's good for the environment. Only risk,
Biodegradable.
spontaneous combustion.
if they just make it from the leaves and stuff, then it could be spontaneous, like biodegradable as well.
There you go.
There we go. There's no proof of existence.
So why are we here? Why are we talking about this space? So I've understood.
So I, while researching all of this, Bhavish Aggarwal became part of my algorithm.
It's also called as rabbit hole.
But,
Your rabbit hole.
Yes, I went down Bhavish Aggarwal's rabbit hole.
You really did as an
Yes.
ADHD person because
Yes, that's-
you look hyper focused as well.
Yeah, so I was flowing through that, and then he became part of my algorithm, and all of a sudden I'm on Instagram Reels, and he's popping up. One very interesting video came up.
Okay.
Very interesting video, and that's what I'm here to discuss.
Okay.
So I was rooting for this guy. Like, okay, fine, he made some very problematic statements with Kunal Kamra, but I was like, he's the people's champion. $1,000 scooter. I was like, people's champion. I'm on this guy's side. Good man. And then I watched that video, and I'm like, so let me tell you what he says in that video. In that video, he says, work-life balance. Sorry.
Balance.
Balance went away.
Balance is lost.
So
Go on.
work-life balance is a younger generation concept.
How old is he? He's 39.
He's
no?
39.
No. Yeah, he's 39.
He's 39. Kunal Kamra is 88.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 39. And he's like, work-life balance is a younger generation concept. Now, just for our benefit, let's just address this first. It's a myth. It's not a younger generation concept. It's being talked about more today because companies like his are exploiting people by saying that, work-life balance is a myth. Work-life balance was always a thing. People used to work till 6 o'clock and then go out to the bar to get drunk with their co-workers in the 60s.
In fact, work-life balance was bigger before.
Yes.
Because you could switch off.
Absolutely.
So here's the concept. So work-life balance in the 60s, 50s, early 90s, even early 90s and early 2000s, our parents used to come back home and they could completely switch off from the emails, completely switch off from phone calls. The next morning when they went in is when they find out what happened. Now, there is actually no concept of work-life balance anyway because you have to consciously try to have it. Otherwise, it affects your mental health.
And your mobile phone is always there.
It's always there. Your emails on your phone, your WhatsApps are there. I can talk to my work people on multiple platforms.
I've seen you talk to your work people at midnight.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we chat like Love is Blind, this happened, Bridgerton, this happened. But
Sure.
But the point being, I can talk to them on multiple platforms, on email, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Messenger, on whatever it is. And that actually is not a younger person concept. And older people would in fact tell you to switch off from your work.
Yeah.
Whereas younger people would be like, I get it, go on.
Yeah.
Whereas my parents and your parents and alike would be like, you need to vacation.
Yeah.
If you're vacationing and if you're holidaying and if it's a time off, all of these things are valid. You don't go on your email on a vacation. That's a thing we have.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I think I was 4 or 5 years old, At that point in time, my dad was working in a retail store. So retail stores in Dubai used to close between 1 and 4:30 in
Yeah,
those days.
yeah, lunchtime.
Yeah, lunchtime.
Yeah,
So my dad would come home.
yeah, my dad too.
Yeah.
They'd come home,
Come home, have lunch, take a nap,
take a nap, and then they would
and
go
then
back.
go back.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And I thought that was just retail workers. I very recently, we were having dinner and I brought this up. My dad was like, that wasn't just retail workers. Offices. Would
Yeah, my
close
dad
down.
used to work as an accountant.
There you go.
There were offices. So then at the time, he used to come back.
That's amazing. His office would end at 6 o'clock then. So he would go back for 2 hours or 3 hours.
And at 7.
And at 7. Okay, there you go.
And at 6:30, he would be home by 7. Because you didn't have traffic then as well.
So he would come home, have lunch, take a nap, go back to work, and then be home by 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, they had massive work-life balance before. Now it's not there.
Yeah.
So Bhavish Aggarwal is actually wrong about that.
He's wrong on that regard first.
Yeah.
That's first. Strike
First and
one.
foremost.
Strike one. Then he says he works 20 hours a day. Now, 7 days a week. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. If you haven't seen this guy, if you see this guy, I'm going to put a picture right here for you guys to see it. I'm going to right here.
It's
here
not going to be
somewhere.
there, but I'm just going to say. Because you can't put it there.
I don't know where it's going to be, but it's going to be somewhere. So it's going to be somewhere. Now, this guy doesn't look like he doesn't sleep he sleeps less than 8 hours a day. He sleeps 8 hours a day. This guy has good skin tone.
Okay.
He has almost full head. He has
Bhavish Aggarwal, if you're
he has a
watching.
receding hairline, but he has hair. He has long hair. He has good hair. So he has a good skin tone. He has good hair. He doesn't have bags under his eyes. If this guy was working 20 hours a day, that means you're telling me that he takes his shower, he takes his toilet work, like pooping, peeing, stuff like that.
Why do we have to mention that? I don't understand.
We have to be
I don't
thorough.
understand.
I have to be thorough. He eats his lunch, his dinner, and spends time with his family, all in those 4 hours, which means he's sleeping less than an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's my thing though.
Yeah.
Firstly, Bhavish Aggarwal, drop your skincare routine. And secondly, what I want to know is, there is a concept of work that
Yeah.
you need to. I'm not saying whether it's not really possible that a person at that stature and that level need work at the same capacity other people do, or people who work
I mean,
for
he
him
is
do.
a CEO. He doesn't
Yeah.
slog like others.
Yeah, he probably doesn't slog in that way, but the C-suite slogs in a different way.
Yeah.
Right? They are the conceptualizers, the innovators, all
Exactly.
that.
They make
So-
decisions that run the company.
So what I am trying to say is maybe what he considers as work is not what other people consider as work.
Okay.
So there might be a conflict of semantics.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? So for him, it's like I'm replying to emails, I'm thinking, I'm in my thought process. That's work for him.
Okay.
Whereas other people in their shops and the people who are fixing, for them 20
Yeah.
hours is physical labor.
Yes.
So that doesn't work.
But here's the problem. He is correlating it to the entire generation later on as he goes on.
Yeah.
So he is correlating it by he uses this as an excuse to say that work-life balance is a myth. Now here's the problem. He can have that luxury to, just send one email, count that as work. Send 2 emails, count that as work. Send 50 emails, count it as work. The other people who work, like for example, an accountant, his job requires him to be at the office working through the accounts, correct? Salesperson, he has to meet his clients. His clients have to be available also.
No, I understand, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's preaching that other people should do the
Oh,
same.
he is.
Oh.
Oh, he is.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yes. So as I was going down my rabbit hole, I found out that India has a labor law that says that you cannot work more than 46 hours a week.
It's 46 hours a week, not 40?
No, it's 46.
Jesus. That's a terrible labor law. It should be
Yeah.
40 hours a week.
I mean, 46 hours a week means you're working almost 7 hours every day.
yeah.
49 means you're working 7 hours
7 hours every day.
But yeah, so six
So
and a half
that
hours.
really takes out your weekends for some people.
Or you work like 8 hours a day and then that takes out 1 day for the weekend.
That's terrible.
On average, in India, you can work 48 hours a week. Sorry, I misspoke. My mistake. The labor law, I mixed 2 things. The labor law states that nobody should work more than 48 hours. 48 hours a week. And a recent study showed that the average work time of Indian workers is 46.7. And there is a person whose name I am forgetting right now is campaigning to remove weekends from the equation and change the work days to 12 hours a day, because he thinks that this is going to help India become a stronger economy. In a time where Germany is moving towards 4 workday weeks.
4-day weeks, yeah.
Yeah. We are moving away and saying we are removing the weekend and campaigning for 12-hour days.
For what reason?
I have no clue.
How does that make any sense?
There's no evidence that increasing productivity, increasing hours increases productivity.
There's actually more evidence that work from home and the lesser hours of work a day increases productivity.
It does. My productivity definitely had increased during COVID when I was working from home.
Most people.
Yeah.
But because all these people who have a lot of money have a lot of investment in real estate.
Yes.
We go back to work as
We
is.
go back to work.
Because see, I work in in client facing company, so I understand because I'm a psychologist and we work with sessions and clients and stuff. So we have to go in. When my clients talk about the fact that as HR and finance and everything, they have to go in every day for 9 to 10 hours, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because some of my friends, their sole job is emailing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if your only job is
Why
to
do you have to go into work?
be on call at their workplace, they're on call.
Yeah. So
I don't understand.
During COVID, I was working as a project manager. So my sole job was coordinating with my team and the client. And at some point in COVID, we had a discussion like, okay, fine, I'm not going to come into work. I'm going to work from home. I was able to do my job way more effectively. Because like my work starts at 9, I'm waking up at 8:30. I'm clocking in, I'm getting my breakfast, I'm getting ready. 9 o'clock, I'm in front of my laptop. I start my work. I am fresh.
So there's a huge misconception that doing this actually, as in increasing the hours of work and increasing the days in a week, contributes to productivity. It does not.
It doesn't. Even in factories, like for example, an argument can be made for factory workers. Like if you work more hours in factories, the production will increase. Number one, there's no evidence for that. I'll tell you why. A, it will lead to exhaustion, which can lead to safety risks. And B, the machines will be running more often, which means wear and tear.
There's research on this as well.
Yeah.
There's research that shows like you said, exhaustion and detail quality.
Yeah.
Your detailing gets lower, much lower when you work higher hours.
I wanted to bring this up though, because I know somebody will comment and say, like, oh, but the factory workers, if they work well, they'll produce more. So,
no, they don't.
They don't.
It's not how this works.
It's not how this works.
When you work in detail, when you work in any sort of production where you have to pay attention to detail and you work longer hours, your conscious effort that you put in decreases.
It decreases, exactly.
So
And
both those counts, strike 1 and 2. So
strike one,
work-life balance.
strike 2. Yeah.
And the second one was
20-hour.
20-hour week.
He claims he works 20 hours a day. Now,
which then he extrapolates to other.
Which then he extrapolates in a very bizarre way. So he just doesn't extrapolate it. So he goes all over the place, and I'm going to go over it one by one. So he says we have to do tapasya. Now, so for our non-Indian listeners, tapasya is loosely translated into very hard work, dedicated, focused, disciplined hard work.
Tapasya is like considered like disciplined meditation. So he's trying to say that
in this context, I think it's just
that's what.
Means hard work.
He means
Because otherwise
it's discipline. Like it's that way.
Struggle.
Yeah,
Hustle.
Let's put the concept of all of these things together is tapasya.
The concept of hustle. So he says our grandparents did tapasya. Our grandparents hustled, and their hustle was for the fight for freedom. And then our parents did tapasya. Wait, get into it. Then our parents did tapasya, and their tapasya was for roti, kapda, makan.
Food, clothes, housing.
Sorry. Again, translation. Food, clothing, housing. Food, clothes, shelter. So, and we also have to do a different kind of tapasya, a different kind of hard work, so that we can build the number one country we dream to build, which is not just number one in economy, but it also is economy number one with cultural renaissance. it's a lot of just bleh coming out of this guy. Like, again, I have no ill will towards this guy. I don't know him.
I just really I want to work through this a bit.
Yes.
He wants us to work like we're fighting for freedom.
No, that's not what he said.
No.
That's not what he said.
If A equals B and B equals C,
No.
A equals C.
Now, I'm going to play his advocate in this one. He did not say that. He did not. That would be unfair. What he said was his grandparents fought for freedom. His parents fought for roti kapda makan. His billionaire parents fought for home food, care, shelter, and clothing.
Okay.
I don't know how that works. And now it's our job to do a different kind of hard work. Like everyone is doing a different kind of hard work. Our basics have been sorted out. We have freedom. We have food, shelter, and clothing because of our parents. Now we have to go a step
step higher. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But again, what?
See, the best part is that he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
His ideals are in the right place.
Yeah, but if it comes across very not nuanced, very privileged, and has a lack of understanding of the general population.
Yeah, but it's also a lie. Like he's not. First of all, okay, on Google it's written again. I won't blame him. Google wrote that, so I don't know if he had Google write that or if people are just spreading this about him. It says that he is the youngest self-made billionaire. His dad's a billionaire. His dad has a quote, and I love this quote. It's a very honest quote.
You said it.
I said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You forgot it.
I forgot it. ADHD.
You said all of this already.
Okay. So I like that quote where he admits that, so basically his grandparents also had money. I have one question. Where did this struggle for food, clothing, and shelter come?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's not, what he's saying, although you can take the good parts of it and go like, you know what? His intent is correct, but the delivery and execution was wrong.
I don't think his intent is correct.
So just like, I think no, but I feel like that's just who he is. Like his intent is correct when he wants $1,000 scooters, but the delivery and the execution maybe failed a bit.
I have a proposition.
A bit, I don't know if it did.
No, but I have a proposition to make. Let's say, give me a salary of an average worker, like somebody in India.
Of which country?
Of an Ola employee.
60,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees?
60,000, 30,000, let's go with 100,000.
No. Indian averages are very low.
Right, now, we Google this now.
Indian averages, I've heard, are very low.
Average Indian salary. Wow.
What did I say?
Let's actually calculate this. 945,489. So 945,489 per year divided by 12. 78,000. Wow. 79,000.
I told you. It's in that.
You're not that far off.
I'm not that far off because these are stats I learned many years ago.
So an Ola employee would not be earning the average. So let's give him slightly above average. So let's go with 100,000.
Can I add a fun fact here, maybe?
Yeah.
So when I was in school, I had to participate for a debating competition.
Yes, let's
where
do
I had
this.
to talk about how China is going to be the super economy in 2040. And our relational example was India. So I had to learn a lot of fun facts for it.
So
At the time,
cheated.
it was between 30,000 and 60,000. I'm glad it went up to 78,
fair
to be
enough.
honest.
So you pick these topics or they give you the topic?
They give you the topic.
And you get to choose whether you're for or against, or they tell you to be for and against?
You have to be 4. I mean, we were 4.
You were for.
Yeah.
That India will catch
No,
up.
for China will.
China will.
So 30 to 60,000 was the proof that it won't.
So you're anti-national.
Oh, no.
There you go. Go back to Pakistan.
Do you know Pakistan International Airlines? They're my favorite tagline in the world. You know what their tagline is? Great people to fly with.
I completely disagree. The stories I have heard about.
No. You don't.
PIA stories. We're going to do a segue into
No,
PIA
we're not going to
stories.
do a segue.
Come, I love this.
No.
It's my favorite topic.
No, we'll do that on the next day. But why I like it is Emirates will say things like, the best airline in the world. Etihad will go like, luxury. And Qatar Airways will say luxury. But PIA is like, great people to fly with.
Not so sure
Indian
about that.
Airlines don't even try.
No, try. You want to come, you come. You don't want to come, you go.
Don't
Get
go.
lost.
Bye.
No, but fun fact about PIA Airlines. So we are on this, just one tiny fact. Come on, let me do one fact. Okay.
ADHD segue in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. There was a flight headed to Islamabad, landed in Karachi.
By mistake, or they had to make an emergency
By mistake.
landing? Oh, no. Oh no. Okay, so we're not gonna do this, okay? Let's go
I have
ahead.
more stories. Okay, but we're not going to do this. So I'm going to do a little segue. I'm going to go back to where we were doing Bhavish Aggarwal's dissection of whatever. We don't even know him. I don't know why we're doing this. So
You're doing this.
I'm doing this.
I actually like it because you're talking about work culture
Yeah.
and the stresses of the younger generation.
yes, that's what I'm doing.
And
So-
I love that we're using a very prominent example to explain all of this.
Yeah.
If that's not what you're doing, I'm still going to make it that way. So.
Okay, done. Then this is why you're going to be my PR agent when I become famous.
Correct, totally. You have
So-
like 8 more minutes to do this.
Okay, so let's say there's a worker earning 100,000 rupees every month. Okay, now divide that by 26 work days.
Okay.
If he's getting only one day off a week.
Okay.
So 26 work days.
That's so much math. I love it. Go on.
That's 3,846 per day. Okay. Now, assuming he works 8 hours a day, divided that by 8, this is for he earns 481 per hour. Why are you looking like that?
Because I don't know what's happening. So.
Okay, I'm coming to it. So this guy says that he works 20 hours a day. And he tells everyone that if you truly love the work you do, then there will be harmony between your life and your work, and everything will be in place. Okay? Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. So also, he says about the fact that, he wants to build an Indian economy, an India which is economy number one with cultural renaissance. How the hell will you have time for...
What's a cultural renaissance?
Basically, you're in touch with your culture. So how the hell will you have time to be in touch with your culture if you are slogging away in a cubicle under fluorescent lights
So I think
for
what he
20 hours a
means-
day?
I don't know why I feel like I understand the context. I feel like if you dwell on the context, I think you understand more. I think what he's trying to say is the cultural renaissance is that we are hard workers, which is a fact anyway.
Every country has a hard worker. My pen went away.
My pen.
Every country has hard workers. I hate this concept. It's like, Hollywood movies push the idea that America is free and has hard workers. No, so many countries have freedom. So many countries have hard workers. Philippines have hard workers. Indonesia has hard workers. India
Every
has
country.
hard workers. China has hard
Every
workers.
single country
single
in the
country has
world.
hard work. It's not a unique trait.
No.
It's really not a unique
not.
trait.
Hard work is more common than it should be, and in the cultural ethos of work and organizational culture, smart work is more appreciated.
There you go.
Right? It's more appreciated and it's
Yeah.
pushed forward and they get promoted and all
Yeah.
of that. But in this context, why the C-suite and the upper management pushes for the idea of hard work is because they need workers to work on those minimal cost-cutting facts.
Exactly, which is what I'm
Cost-cutting
coming to now, which is what all my math was
prices.
for.
Yeah.
Now, the reason, I will guarantee Bhavish Aggarwal, if he does this, his workers will also start working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
They will do this. All he has to do is promise them that if a worker is earning 100,000 rupees a month and his hourly rate is 481 rupees by that math, then all he has to do is promise them that for every hour you work, I will pay you 481 rupees. Overtime.
Okay, there you go.
Overtime. Sorry.
Sorry, the silence was because I didn't...
I understand. For comedic purposes, I just let it prolong.
Okay.
So he just has to promise them overtime. Now, the reason he can't do it is because even he knows that 8 hours is enough to do your work.
Yeah.
Correct? If he says that I'm going to pay you overtime, then everyone will make sure they work 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, hell, 20 hours a day. I would sleep in the toilet. I would stay in the company. I would log in and not leave for 2 days. Now, imagine if somebody worked 4 hours extra every day, okay? For 6 days a week and then enjoys their weekend. That's 1,443 per day into 6. Every week, he'd be paying them 8,000 rupees extra, which is 8% of their salary. Extra.
And if he does this...
And if he does this over a month, that is 34,000 rupees.
So they would make 1,34,000.
They will make 35% of their salary every week, every month, which is something he can't afford.
Yeah, because that's not the idea. If you have to...
But here's the thing. If he works 20 hours a day, he's the CEO of the company. Whatever money the company makes, if we are going to believe the baseless claim that, working extra makes more money. If you're going to believe that claim, then if he works 20 hours a day, then his company makes money, which goes directly into his pocket.
Can I ask you something, though? Not once did he mention that if you work more, you earn more.
No, he doesn't say that. But then why is he endorsing this? No, he does. I'm sorry, he does.
Oh, does
if
he?
we
Okay.
want to build turn India into the world's greatest economy number one, he said, then how do you do that?
I mean individually.
Then you have to work 20 hours a day.
No, what I'm asking is, bear with me. He didn't say once that you, as the you who works for Ola Cabs, would earn more if you work
no,
more.
you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
You would
That's what I'm saying.
contribute.
That's what I'm saying. If he wants people to work like that, he needs to do this. But he won't. So why would someone who works 8 hours a day work 10 hours a day when they'll get the same amount of money in 8 hours a day? Oh, when they get the same amount of money in 8 hours a day.
Correct. So what I understand is the concepts and the work culture that he's trying to promote is trying to promote the idea that you are important
Yes.
for a larger cause. For the economic supremacy
Yeah.
of India
Yeah.
and for the putting on the map of the
Yeah.
world. But your own benefit
Yeah.
does not count because you are a number.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one final point. The reporter who was taking this interview, so I think they are a couple. I don't want to assume. It's Ishan Prakash and Smita Prakash. They are ANI journalists who invited Bhavish Aggarwal.
What is ANI?
Hell if I know.
Okay. It's okay. Nobody knows best part of this podcast either.
Yes, nobody know. They don't know us.
We don't know them.
We don't know them.
Happy birthday.
But we know of them though.
Hashtag.
So they invited Bhavish Aggarwal onto their podcast. We also have a podcast. So they invited him on their podcast, and they were having an interview with him. Now, I don't know if that interview counted towards his 20 hours a day workday, but whatever, he was there. Or if it was from his 4 hours. Oh, he slept only 3 hours that day.
Stop.
Okay, sorry. Now, in that...
And I must tell everyone this because it sounds like you're bashing on the person.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not my intent.
That's not his intent.
That's definitely not my intention. That's my ADHD talk.
I would like to set your intent. With Sid, it's a thing. He does not like unchecked privilege.
Yes.
And he also does not like any sort of like bias.
And misinformation that can be
Misinformation.
used to exploit people.
Correct.
Which is what I'm worried about here, like exploitation of the workforce.
And the idea that, you know, when people have influence and power, how they use it.
Yeah. You want people to work 20 hours a day, go for it. Like if they are doing it consensually, do it. Pay them overtime.
Yeah.
Pay them overtime and then hell.
We don't actually know if he does or does not.
No,
pay
he doesn't.
overtime.
I checked.
Oh, you checked?
I saw on Google. I checked. The Ola workers get paid overtime. Not all of them get paid overtime. So maybe the factory workers or something that get paid overtime, but it's literally written. Most of the employees don't get paid.
I'm going to say that again. He said, literally written, not everybody gets paid
That
overtime.
was too fast.
I didn't even understand. I
I'm
guessed.
sorry, that happens sometimes. So I'm just trying to cover too many points at this point.
Yeah.
So Smiti Prakash said, I believe that in your line of business, like in our line of business, she's a journalist.
Okay.
There is no concept of weekend. There is no weekend concept.
Okay.
We are always available, always on call. I don't know how to break it to her that the concept of weekend still exists. You'll be working on the weekend then.
Yeah, exactly.
Weekend is still there.
The concept of weekend is not perpetuated by Indians.
Yes.
It's just a thing that exists
Just because
in the
you
world.
work doesn't mean that
Yeah.
weekend is not there.
No, that means you work during your weekends.
Yes,
Correct.
you work during weekends. And she said that, and then Bhavish Aggarwal is like, the concept of weekend is a very Western industrial concept.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on, man.
I don't believe in that. Our work ethos was never that. Our ethos has always been hard work.
No. So here's the thing, right? He needs to understand that the culture we actually have is a culture before time, before industrialization,
Yes.
before colonization, is an industry that is a culture that promoted community, promoted harmony, and promoted peace.
Yes.
If we are peace-loving, meditating, yoga people, how in the world did we work more? That's not what it is. Go
Yeah.
speak
Decide
to
what you
your
want.
cultural elders. Do
and
not speak to your industrialized elders.
And also, I've seen some other videos of this guy going like, Western, we've imported this from Western
Why do
culture.
Indians do this though? Why do South
what?
Asians do this? Why do we blame? Why do we set a precedence that we want to push, and then say the thing that is considered a norm or conventional or nice and westernize it? Oh, it's their concept.
Oh, no, but it's hypocrisy because this guy has a business which is Ola, which is Uber.
Yeah.
It's a Western business.
It's Western business.
He makes money through Western business.
Yes.
And
Shared economy business was created in the West.
yeah, and there is he has a nickname amongst the social media people. Again, I'm not trying to bash him, but this is what social media people use to bash him.
Social media people just about him.
Social media people used to bash him, and this is called Elon Musk.
Oh, get it?
Because he's apparently the general consensus amongst the people is that he is trying. Stop it. He is trying. Stop it. He is trying. Stop it.
It's really funny name.
Because Ola, Elon Musk, he is trying very hard to be like Elon Musk. So he says outrageous things so that he can be considered like Elon Musk, because that guy's also EV industry person.
Love the people on the internet.
Yeah, so the people are just drawing that parallel, and I feel like this guy is just you're wearing Western clothes, you're speaking in English, you're running a business that is basically Western Indian Uber, and on top of that you're preaching stuff.
Isn't
like,
Ola Cabs also the one that has very high rates of not high rates, or at least reports of harassment from the drivers?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't speak to it if I didn't know about it.
Yeah, no,
I'll research it.
You'll research it. We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, we can talk about it next time.
So what I understand, or a quick summary of what we've discussed about Bhavish Aggarwal, is that we're not talking about just him. We're talking about the culture.
Yeah, I mean, I just used him because I went down
It's
that
an
rabbit hole
example.
because of that Kunal Kamra Twitter fight he had. But I feel like this is a campaign going on, because Narayan Murthy also is pushing for removing the 48-hour limit.
Who is Narayan Murthy?
I would tell you if I knew.
Is he Sudha Murthy's husband?
I have no clue.
We do need a fact check segment.
We do need a fact check segment. Actually, it's fine. It's fine. I like how we do things.
Indian businessman.
Yeah, Indian businessman, and he looks like he's been around for 5.2 net worth, billionaire.